Okay, so this is accountability session for February 2014 and we're talking about personal responsibility here. The first thing we need to look at, and I don't know if you can see that very clearly from here, is about weight management, homeostasis. So people get into this habit of kind of like having this massive meal on maybe like a Friday night and then getting on by themselves in the morning to see how much weight they have or haven't put on. Well, in actual fact, your energy balance is maintained over a 1 to 2 week period. So you kind of you can't be relying on that as a true weight when you've had if you've been sick for a couple of days and you've lost a lot, or you've eaten a lot and then you weigh yourself the following day and you've put some on or you haven't put any on. So let's not get panicky about scales and worrying about how quickly we put weight on. You need to be looking at a longer term, which is why quite often I don't weigh my ladies more than once a month. The issues that I've noticed just since January is that poor planning leads to failure. Revolution and Metabolic Effect are all about planning. It just helps you succeed, period. That's it. Setting fat loss goals is pointless if you're going to self-sabotage. So if you're not going to be honest with yourself or stick to what you should be doing in terms of the rule books, and you're kind of going to have a cheat every day rather than a cheat day or a cheat meal, there's no point in setting a goal. Willpower is like a muscle and it needs training, so that's why Metabolic Effect call it skill power. It isn't just you've got it or you haven't. Some people have got a stronger brain. It depends how much you want something, and that is the bottom line on that one. And also, just because it's healthy, it doesn't mean that there aren't any calories in it. So whilst we do a lot of our own cooking here for our amaze balls and oat bars and stuff like that, they've still got calories in it, they've still got starchy carbs in it, and you have to take that into account when you're planning your meals. Personal responsibility, I'll upload this video for you guys later on. It's from Pete Cohen, asking people to kind of really think about what they want and stop blaming everybody else and just get on with it. It's a really good short clip, so I'll upload that later on for you. So are you responsible for you ultimately? Self-sabotage is physically and psychologically damaging. These are the people who will continually start on Monday. These are the people who will say, life is for living, and then look in the mirror the following day and don't like what they see. So not only are you doing your fat loss goals a disservice, but you're doing yourself a disservice because you're not looking after yourself properly. And just because it's going to be, we know it's going to be hard, but sometimes you just got to suck it up and get on with it. You've eaten yourself, or whatever you've done, eaten yourself to a state where you don't like yourself much now, and now you've got to do the reverse. It's going to take a little bit of time. By self-sabotaging, you're maintaining a guilt relationship with food and exercise. So you need to stop. If you have one sweet, you don't need to eat the whole packet, and it goes with biscuits and all those kind of things, crisps that people start on and then can't stop. And equally so, stop eating damaging food and trying to exercise it off. You just can't do it, and it's not. We don't want to promote you to feel that way. We want to promote you to feel like you've got an in-control relationship with food. You understand it, you understand you, and then you can get yourself out of these horrible situations. Very simply put, you cannot compete with what you eat. You'll hear this a lot of times, lots of calories in these fast foods and snack foods that are really, really well hidden. It affects the hormones. You've got to do an awful lot of work to negate what you've just put in your mouth. So think about that before you put it in there, because the compounding effects of the calories and the hormonal effect and the psychological effect of you beating yourself up over it, it's just really not worth it. You need to start using your mind a little bit more. So getting back to that, we need to prepare. 7 P's. Prior preparation and planning prevents poor performance. An old army saying, I believe. That is ultimately it. Take 2 hours on a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon to get your shopping in, do your food prep, get it in the freezer, and not only will it save you a huge amount of time through the week, you'll know exactly what you're eating, it'll save you a lot of stress, and you can spend more time doing stuff that you actually want to do rather than being in the kitchen. So that couple of hours in one day could save you multiple hours and a huge amount of stress, in the long run. We all know that stress is really, really bad for fat loss, so you're going to kind of help your fat loss in a roundabout kind of way as well. And don't just restrict your planning to your meals. Plan in your relaxation time, your exercise time, your food shopping, your food prepping, your social time, and certainly that cheat meal. Plan it in, write it down, put it where you can see it, and stick to it. You can give me all the excuses in the world that you like, but it's not going to get you results, okay? So if you want results, you need to stop cheating yourself, you need to be honest with yourself, and you need to know What is your goal and how committed are you to this journey? And if you're not that committed, what can we do and what can you do to make it easier to stick it at it? If it takes you longer, that's fine, but don't kid yourself, because it's just a recipe for disaster. This is again coming down to the brain before your body. This one on the left hand side, so you're telling me that you want to lose weight but you don't want to work out or eat right. Hear that a lot, and this is absolutely true. This month's choices are next month's body. It's not always easy, but I guarantee you it does get easier 100%, because I've been there and I've done it and I still live it. But it is worth it. When you start to feel great, it's really, really worth it. Far more worth than, you know, spending a week eating rubbish and then feeling bad about yourself. That habit has to stop, and you're the only one that can break that. Clean food still has calories. So whilst we use calories as a last resort in your fat loss journey, we don't want to get into the habit of eating more, working out more so we can eat more bad food, or eating and working it off, you know, because it's a mistake, to do an extra work, going for an extra 5-mile run or whatever. We want to move away from that, but we also need to accept the fact that clean, nutritious snacks still have an energy value. So what's been popular with us are these Amaze balls with our greens powder and our protein powder and our dates and our nuts. Primarily still a fat and carbohydrate based snack. Very, very clean, nothing else in it, but it needs to work in with your nutritional program for that particular day. So what's next? So in order to define your February goal, I'm asking you to compare your results to your goal. So we set goals in January. Did your results reflect the work you put in? Did it reflect the goal that you'd set? What did you achieve? So take out, let's say you achieved your fat loss. Okay, I've got that. Did you work out how to best plan your day? Did you work out that actually for you, you need to get up 20 minutes earlier in the morning and exercise in the morning? Did you work out that your carb tipping point, so you can't have more than 5 mouthfuls of carbs with every meal? What did you struggle with? That's one that most people will focus on. There's a real tendency to focus on the negative rather than the positive. You have to change your mindset. And there's a lot of support there, so don't forget to use the group to help you. What one thing do you need to change to help you achieve your goal next month? I've told you before that just by getting one goal and sticking to that, you're 85% likely to succeed. The more things you try and change in that period of time, the less successful you are. And in fact, I think it's if you try and change 3 things, you're 85% likely to fail. So what you need to do is, what is the one smallest thing that you can do to make the biggest difference to you? Is it increasing your water? Is it just without fail every Sunday doing your food prep? Is it making sure that you've got water with you in your car, in your home, at work, and snacks in your handbag? There's loads of things that you can do to make this journey easier for you and take the time to practice. I want you to post your February goal. I want to see it on your fridge, on your phone. I don't care where it is, but you need to be able to see it all the time, because a goal without a plan is just a wish. And if you don't have that goal set down, statistics tell us that you're highly unlikely to succeed in reaching it. Not only that, have your goal and work out how you're going to get there. So if you decide that actually, you know what, my 6-month goal is to lose 5% body fat. And to get there, I need to, in the month of February, cut out eating Pringles after my dinner. It could be as simple as that one small change. Obviously, the shorter time you're training, the more work you've got to put in. It's about you and making it work for you. So you need to remember that you're an individual and you have to make it achievable and attainable for yourself. Have courage and practice faith. A lot easier said than done, I know. And some days, you know, you feel like you've been kicked down, but you just got to get back up and you just got to remember that you're worth it. So when feeling overwhelmed by a faraway goal, repeat the following. I have it within me right now to get me to where I want to be later. You have all of it. You have all the knowledge. There's loads of people around you that can help you out with that, but you have to do it for yourself. So you need to keep that in mind all the time. So I hope you have found that helpful. Again, speak to me in your next session or email me at getfit@revolution.co.uk. And I'll see you soon. Thank you.